Most e-commerce brands are losing out on a ton of money because they're not using email marketing correctly. If you're only sending the odd campaign, or you're just sending sale emails, or you're relying on set it and forget it flows, you're missing out. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 proven email sequences most brands get wrong that drive our clients millions of dollars per month. Kind of like this, and like this. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Derek, and I'm the founder of Ascend Media, where we help 7- and 8-figure D2C brands generate more profit and revenue through email marketing and retention strategies. So let's dive in. All right, sequence number 1. Now, most brands think that they have this flow absolutely dialed. Nothing could be further than the truth, though. It's usually going to be the top 1 or maybe the top 2 flow in terms of revenue. And it's really important because the average Shopify store has about a 68 to 69% abandoned checkout rate. So the abandoned checkout sequence is absolutely crucial here. Now, one of the tests I'm going to share with you resulted in a 132% increase in abandoned checkout placed order rates, which is absolutely insane. Now, for most brands, this is what their abandoned checkout sequence looks like. Did you forget something? Are you missing this? Your cart misses you. Your product misses you. Here's 10% off. How about 20? How about 30? Fuck it. Just take the product, please. Now, not only does this not work very well, but it's also hella annoying for your customers. You're basically just restating the same thing 4 or 5 times. Your cart doesn't miss you. It's an inanimate object, but that's the reality of what most people's abandoned cart sequence looks like. They're not handling any objections. They're not really helping people out. They're just like, hey, did you forget something? And then you start to look desperate when you get like further and further down those incentives. Now, here's what you want to do. The first email, and only the first email, can serve as a simple reminder. The second will be showcasing some social proof, reviews, PR, anything that can build your trust and credibility, because that's going to be one of the objections people might have. Now, depending on your product price point, the objection may be larger or smaller. If you've got a really expensive product, you might need to show more social proof. It might take a little bit longer time for people to purchase. Whereas if you're selling something that's like $30, the risk is very low. The third email is objection handling. So different objections than what you just handled in number 2. That is usually going to be something like a guarantee, money back. You could focus on some more PR here. Now, an example here is one of our clients who sells frozen goods. Now, my first thought here was like, how do you make sure that people are receiving this fast enough so that it doesn't defrost and go bad? That could be a potential objection for them, and that's actually something we incorporate into their abandoned checkout sequences. Price? Is price another objection here? Maybe you're selling soup and it's way more expensive than a traditional Campbell's soup or chicken noodle soup or something like that. Why is your soup more expensive? This is an opportunity for you to showcase the reason why. Now, the fourth email in this sequence is handling the pricing objection in a slightly different way. Here, we're going to be offering an incentive. Because we've already addressed 3 of the other potential objections, what we're going to do here is try to address that pricing objection, but we're only going to send it to non-purchasers, i.e. if someone's purchased before, they're not getting it. If they have purchased before, or if they've never purchased before, then they will get the incentive. We do this with a simple conditional split. Now, once we've done that, we're going to actually send an incentive reminder. This is kind of like our last push to see if we can get people to purchase. And then if not, we send a 6th email. This is where you can start to gather a little bit more zero-party data. And this is where most brands don't do anything. They usually hit people with an incentive and then forget about it. So this 6th email is really just a check-in and just seeing why someone hasn't purchased yet. Just straight up asking them. And usually the best way to frame this is either from the founder or someone on the marketing team or something like that. Founder usually works really well. And it's just a text-based email. And we're just asking them, and it's not going to go to a no reply email. That's a no-no. We're going to ask them to send feedback to a certain email or just reply back to this email. Now, here's a few ways to take it to the next level. If you've done this, if you've implemented these things, here are 4 things that you can do to take it to the next level. The first is segment based off of categories or products. If you know that you've got a kingpin product that is 70% of your sales, build out a separate abandoned checkout sequence based off of that. Split test timing. So we usually split test 4 different send times right away on the abandoned checkout. Oftentimes it kind of depends on the average order value that we're dealing with, but it could be anywhere from like 30 minutes to 6 hours. The third piece is split testing different objections, right? So within those emails, it could be the first one is a reminder, the second one is social proof, the third one is handling 3 potential different objections. You do a conditional split with 33% of the traffic to each one, and you see which one performs the best. And the fourth, this is kind of the cliffhanger I left you with earlier. This is what we use to increase the placed order rate by 132% on this flow, is we use zero party data. And the zero party data is something that we collect usually in the pop-up. And then we'll leverage that and be like, okay, this person said this is their desired outcome. Let's make sure we build out a flow for this that handles this desired outcome. For example, if we've got a soup company, their number one desired outcome is gut health. We're going to build out a flow that is specific to gut health and specifically tackling why their soup is so great for helping people improve their gut health. Sequence number 2 is often neglected, and it's the post-purchase sequence. Most brands, it kind of looks like, hey, thank you for purchasing. And then the second email is follow us on social, or maybe they just have one. Some don't even have any. Now, here's what you want to do in this sequence. The first is actually, thank people. The second is to get people pumped up, get them excited, get them fired up about receiving the product and what outcome they're going to receive. You can share some testimonials, some reviews, just get people pumped up. Your marketing and their journey does not stop after they've given their credit card. And the third thing you're going to want to do is provide them with steps or tips or anything that they need to actually achieve their desired results. Again, the transaction isn't over after they've given their credit card. We need to make sure that they actually achieve their desired results so that they tell their friends, their family, they come back and purchase again, which will help to increase your AOV, LTV, your referral rates, etc. Now, here's how to take it to the next level. The first thing, segment based off of categories and products. Again, here, if you have a certain product that is your kingpin product, build a certain flow just for that product, telling people how to get the best results with that product or how to use that product or care for that product, whatever it might be. The second is segmenting based off of loyalty points. So you could segment based off of someone who has X amount of loyalty points versus someone who has more than this amount versus your VIPs, for example. The third would just be segmenting based off of zero party data again. Again, if someone filled out the pop-up and said their desired outcome is gut health, let's make sure that we're showing them which soups and what to do with the soups to improve their gut health and maybe giving them some other tips on how to improve gut health. The fourth is including a post-purchase upsell. This is really, really great. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. You could do it right on your Shopify store. WooCommerce, not as sure to be honest, but you can do it right on your Shopify store, or you can incorporate this into a different flow that is a post-purchase upsell, giving people a short window to get an increased incentive pretty much. And the fifth is actually kind of a build off of the third, is gather zero party data. This is a really great opportunity. If someone's purchased once or 2 or 5 or 10 times, why? Why did they purchase that many times? Why have they come back? Why did they choose you in the first place? Where did they find you? There's so much opportunity here to gather zero party data. And if you're not, big missed opportunity. All right, the third and final sequence here, most brands have, but 99% of the time, it just fully doesn't hit the mark. Usually it's also going to be among the abandoned checkout for the top 1 or 2 in terms of flow revenue. And this is the welcome series. Here's what the welcome series looks like for most brands. Welcome, here is 10% off. Buy our stuff. Here's why our stuff is awesome. Buy our stuff a little bit more. Still haven't bought? Here's 20% off. Not great. It's kind of like all about you or all about the brand. It's not about the consumer. Here's what you want to do. Email 1, welcome, and deliver the promise. Whatever the promise was, if it was 10% off or free shipping or whatever that is, deliver that front and center. The second email is a story or mission. This is relating to the customer. It's not just a blab about you and why you're so great. It's how you relate to your customer and also reminding them about their initial incentive. Third email is social proof or PR or anything that can build your credibility up. The fourth is some bestsellers. The fifth is a last chance to actually take advantage of your promo. And the final one, sometimes, the sixth is the product quiz. And this is where someone's made it through 6 emails. They've heard about you. They've seen you. They just haven't purchased yet. So maybe we're going to help them out here a little bit and show them a product quiz and see what they might be interested in. And of course, here is how to take it to the next level. Number 1, this is almost always overlooked. Optimize for deliverability. This is really important because this is the first interaction people have with your brand. If your first interaction goes to spam, this is going to flag Gmail, this is going to flag Yahoo, and you're probably not going to have a great time getting to their inbox in the future. No bueno. We need to optimize for deliverability first. If you want to know some deliverability tips, there's another video on my YouTube channel. You can go ahead and check it out. The second piece is segmenting based off of zero party data. There is a trend here. Again, this is going to be based off of what people responded to in the pop-up. The third is split testing your opt-in form or pop-up. This is really important because the success of your welcome series fully is predicated on how successful your pop-up is. If you're getting a 1% opt-in rate, that's pretty trash. If you're getting a 5% opt-in rate, you are getting 5 times more people into your flow. And the fourth thing is split testing your offer. We actually did this with a client, and it's not always increasing the offer. Sometimes it can be decreasing the offer. They had their pop-up on Attentive. Actually, they originally had it on Klaviyo. It was doing quite well. They moved it to Attentive. The opt-in rates dropped substantially. However, they increased the offer. They're very kind of like sales-based client. They had 20% off on the pop-up on Klaviyo. They moved to Attentive. They increased their promo to 35%. And then they saw a decrease in not only the opt-in rate, but also the revenue that was generated through the welcome series. Now, we brought this to their attention and we brought them back. So they were giving up an extra almost 50%. Well, it was about 50, it was more than 50% margin on that, right? It's 15%, but it's a 50%, more than 50% increase. They were giving up more for less. So keep this in mind. Sometimes changing the offer and not even offering more can actually have a better impact. Now, even if you use these 3 email sequences, you need to have the right strategy tailored for your business to get the full potential out of them. If you want to make sure that you're using the full potential of your email marketing sequences, book in a free call with me by clicking the link. It should be the first link in the description below. Once you do that, go ahead and watch the next video where I'm going to show you exactly how we do our segmentation. It's one of the most popular videos I've ever posted, and it is very, very important if you're doing any kind of email marketing. Thanks so much and have a great day.